Hi folks, welcome again to the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today we have another Blu-ray review, in this case Sean Baker's Tangerine. Hello again and thanks for tuning in for another review. As I was saying, today we're gonna review Tangerine, released by Second Sight Film, directed by Sean Baker. But before we start, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you're interested in physical media, especially Blu-ray reviews and other physical media related talk. Besides that, you can also find me on Instagram, which has the same handle, Physical Media EU, where I post photos of all the items that I review. With that said, we can move on to start the review of Tangerine. You can see very beautiful cover here, and it's a full slipcase. Has this J card, which if you want to see in detail, there you can pause the video, and if we remove it, then this is the back. So not much to see there. Now if we open this up, we find the movie and also some art cards and a booklet. So let's start by taking a look at the art cards, which are very sturdy. And the first one here has, again, the cover as we saw in the slipcase. Now here, I hope you can see it on the video, but the print quality of this one is actually very nice. By the way, on the back they are all white. You can see these ones, they look pretty beautiful, I think. Like all Sean Baker movies, it has a very interesting stylistic choice. So there you have it, the art cards, very nice. Now moving on to the booklet, which is 56 pages. There you have front and back. Now let's take a look at the contents. Again, if you want to pause the video, now is a good time. And from this booklet, this is the article that I found the most interesting. Is Sean Baker on Tangerine. It says the title is "We Didn't Fictionalize Much," and as you can see here, it's a conversation, right? An interview. So that's of course nice to have, but we'll talk about that because also included in the bonus features. You can see here, right? This is Sean Baker filming the movie like on a bike with his phone. So there's a lot of stories regarding this, which I think they are very rich. Here you can see also another photo of the movie being filmed with phones. And now moving on to the Blu-ray case. Here we have, it's a standard case, just that it's a dark gray instead of blue. Front and back. And if we open, there is the Blu-ray, which is region B locked, something to keep in mind. And one of the things that make this movie very interesting, as we just saw, is that it was filmed using iPhones. And in one of the bonus features, Sean Baker is explaining that they had a very thin budget and they couldn't afford renting bigger cameras, so they decided to do it with phones. But the picture didn't look as good and as raw as Sean Baker really wanted. But at that time, luckily for him and for us, there was a company that had a fundraiser on Kickstarter that was developing some sort of like a lens attachment that you could put on the iPhone, and that would make the video look more like a film. So he started working with them and liked how the result was, and decided to go on and shoot the movie using this attachment on the phone. That whole story is included in one of the bonus features. Very interesting. I totally recommend, especially if you are interested in independent film. That's a very nice bonus feature to watch. In my opinion, the movie looks great for being shot on a phone. And the first time I watched the movie, I had no clue that this was the case. But it's also mentioned in one of the bonus features, when this movie was in Sundance, if I'm not wrong, at the end of the movie, it said shot on iPhone. And then people started making a lot of questions about it, although that was not the intention Sean Baker had. But the reason I got interested in this movie was because before I have watched The Florida Project, which is an A24 movie that I loved. And recently it was announced that it will also be released by Second Sight Film, this time on 4K, which was, I think, announced, well, not announced, but Sean Baker mentioned, I think it was at the end of the year 2023, that a 4K version of Florida Project was coming semi-soon. But during the year 2024, of course, Sean Baker was very busy with the release of Anora. There were not so many news about it, but just like about a week ago, it was announced that it's coming on Second Sight. Although there's no release date, but it's expected to be in the upcoming few months. I'm talking about Anora and other physical media releases from Sean Baker's work. It was recently announced that Criterion is releasing 2 new titles from Sean Baker, one of them being Prince of Broadway, which is a movie from 2008 that Sean Baker did, and the other one is Anora, who just killed it in the Oscars from this year. So that release is huge, and both of those titles can be pre-ordered already, coming out in May, if I'm not wrong. And this is not the first time Criterion releases a title by Sean Baker. There's also this one, Take Out, which is in fact his first movie from 2004. You can see here front and back. And if we open up, there's also this booklet. This is Blu-ray, not 4K, like the 2 recent announcements by Criterion. And I think it's totally fair because this movie was shot with a handheld camera and the restoration they made for the Blu-ray is pretty good, but the source wouldn't be good enough for a 4K upscale. Lastly, since I'm showing some Sean Baker physical media releases, there's also this single 7 inches record from A24 Music for the movie Red Rocket, also directed by Sean Baker. And the single was released by A24 Music. You can see here, this that it has here is some stickers of strawberries, and this release also included some rolling paper. So you can see there, which also has strawberries on the inside. So that's all for the review. I hope you liked it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. And remember to check out on Instagram for photos of this release. And lastly, I would love to hear on the comments if you have watched this movie, what did you think of it, and if you're excited about the new physical media releases for Sean Baker's work. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Okie Dogs.